Let's get the thoughts of addiction therapist Sarah Graham. She joins me now. Very good afternoon to you. I mean, first of all, is there any evidence that these are medically or physically as bad for you as smoking cigarettes?
Well, the problem we've got, Dermot, is that these are new products. Part of their attraction to young people is because they are e-cigarettes. They link with technology. So we don't have an evidence base at all, really, a substantial evidence base. And the problem we've got is that most policymakers, most ministers around the world have looked at this from the perspective of cigarettes and the adult population. And of course, anything that can reduce or stop an adult smoking a traditional cigarette is a good thing for an adult. But what they didn't reckon on was the fact that these cigarettes, e-cigarettes, are far more desirable. They've made smoking cool again, and they are being cynically marketed at teenagers as well.
But if it isn't bad for you, and as you said, the evidence isn't conclusive either way yet, if it isn't bad for you, what is there to worry about?
I didn't say that. Of course, e-cigarettes are bad for teenagers because nicotine is a highly addictive substance. Nicotine is the substance in cigarettes that makes people dependent on them. And anybody who's been addicted to smoking will tell you just how hard it is to stop smoking cigarettes. You know, as an addiction expert, I can tell you, working with clients, I work with clients addicted to everything from heroin and crack cocaine to cigarettes. And putting down cigarettes can be as challenging, if not more so, than heroin or cocaine. You know, I'm in recovery myself. I'm in recovery 13 years from other substances, including alcohol, but only 12 from cigarettes. And lots of people are able to put down everything except for the cigarettes. So we can't be complacent about this. Anything that introduces teenagers to dependency on nicotine is a bad thing, because of course when you are dependent, you get trapped in that cycle where you want to constantly redose. And if you're at school, that's a real problem, because your concentration will start going and you can't attend to your schoolwork if you want to be out in the playground having a puff.
But, I mean, I just want to throw this in there, Sarah. I mean, you know, it's how addictive it is. Okay, you say it is very highly addictive, but you know, so is caffeine, and people go through all the similar processes you described there of needing another hit, of it making them hyped up. They can't concentrate without it. I mean, is nicotine worse than that?
Well, I think there are a lot of people watching this programme now who know the difference between caffeine addiction, which obviously is an addiction, and nicotine addiction. Nicotine is a powerful stimulant drug, and it also really drives addictive patterns of behaviour, where you need to titrate your dose regularly to keep your nicotine level stable. And when your level drops, then you start to feel irritable, angry, you can't concentrate. This is a real problem for a teenager, and it may start off as a very cheap habit, and they are being enticed, as we heard, by these fruity flavours and by cool marketing, products that look cool and are aspirational. But very quickly the habit can become expensive, a diversion from school life, and we don't know what the long-term health implications are. There are some early studies which are suggesting that e-cigarettes could be harmful to lungs in themselves.
And of course there's the danger, isn't there, of migrating to real cigarettes to tobacco, and the health downside there are well proven.
Absolutely, and this is what we don't know yet. We don't know what the crossover from dependency on e-cigarettes to traditional cigarettes will be. I suspect there will be a crossover, and I suspect that we at the moment have a market penetration by e-cigarettes. They're making smoking cool again. You know, as I said, government ministers have thought it's okay to have advertising to try and direct that adult population away from traditional cigarettes to e-cigarettes. What they haven't thought about is the impact this is going to have on young people. You know, at the Golden Globes this year, we saw Leonardo DiCaprio smoking an e-cigarette in the auditorium. Now, I've spent a lot of time in LA, and in the entertainment business there, you would never be able to smoke a cigarette in an environment like that. But he was able to sit there at the Golden Globes and smoke an e-cigarette. What message does that give out to young people? And we need to think about teenagers.
It is a very interesting point. I mean, what do you think then should be done to it? I mean, the same controls applied right now as are applied to tobacco.
Well, we need to get the balance right, because obviously we do want adult smokers of traditional cigarettes to move across to e-cigarettes, because the health benefits are, you know, substantial, and that is obviously a really good thing around the world for people to move on to e-cigarettes and away from all the harmful substances in traditional tobacco. But we really need to have a good think about how these products are marketed, what flavours are available, where they can be sold. Are teenagers being sold to directly? And I would suggest if you go online and look at the marketing campaigns out there, they're being directly marketed at young people.
Okay, very interesting talking to you. Thank you very much indeed. Addiction therapist Sarah Graham there.